that wanna contest, we got your nooses ready, hanging over the trees. Bring on your sounds and get drowned by my massive.
What's good, Mearabloggers? Today I've got another hip-hop group on the Mearablog Podcast. Definitely one of the best of all time, one of the best duos of all time.
Yeah, this is Tech from Smif and Wessun, rocking with my PNC.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? How you doing?
What's happening, folks? Good.
Now, you guys, what's good with you guys recently, just on like the non-musical side, just, what's been good with Smif and Wessun, not necessarily just music-wise?
Well, we out here rocking the movement, which is the music monumental, we can't avoid that, but that's what it is.
Right.
We doing some of everything, going into the t-shirt business, going into the film and management business of other artists, just broadening our whole brand of our own and just marketing it and trying to make it right. But it is monumental.
Right, now Monumental is what we're talking about, and that's the first. This is the first album since the album, right? Like their last release.
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me about Monumental, and how do you think it turned out, and what do you think the reaction was to the reaction of the project?
Well, Monumental, this is our 5th studio album, released on Duckdown, been
right.
One of the #1 independent labels in the game for the past 15 years. The project, all in all, took just under 2 years to put together because, we're constantly on the road and Pete Rock is constantly on the road. And it's been, so that's what took the duration time, which dragged it out. Not really dragged it out, but just made it take as long as it did. But all in all, it's a beautiful body of work, and I think the people are responding to it well. We just dropped a new album entitled Monumental, the lead title of the album. And everyone, you have a few, you can't please everyone, but everyone is accepting it with open arms. They're saying it's the beginning again of hip-hop in New York.
Yeah.
If I quoted it correctly.
Right. Now, you guys, that's a good point, and I'm going to bring that up later, but I want to call to attention some of the features that you guys have on this album, and I want to start by the holy grail of Pete Rock that you have producing on here, and, that's just crazy to have him executively produce the whole album, and he's just such a big thing to hip-hop in New York especially, and you also have tracks with Raekwon and Helter Skelter and Buckshot, Bun B, and, Duckdown affiliates like Sean Price and Black Rob. Now, I just want to say, god damn, this shit really is monumental, But, tell me about getting these guys on the project, and I know you've done a lot of work with a lot of these artists in the past, but what does it mean to get these guys on a newer project?
Just, real quick, we can't do an album without having our boot camp family involved in some form of fashion. Every album we do, we got the boot camp members on it, and if we don't, that's not by choice. So what we try to do is basically use the boot camp in a way where you spread it out, and you get a chance to hear the individuals. Sean Price on one song, or Rock on another song,
right.
Top Dog on one song, Buckshot on another song. Collectively, still the boot camp on deck. And as far as Raekwon, you hit it on the nose, man. Like some of these artists that we have worked with in the past,
right?
And it's just that we built a relationship with these people, and it's like instead of us trying to go get who's hot right now, who can help us sell our album, we just want to keep the relationship strong. You listen to the tunes, it makes sense. It makes sense to have a Raekwon on a song like Prevail, or it makes sense to have a Hurricane G on a song like Do It, rhyming over a Dave Booth sample. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just like putting things in perspective. And then you have cats like a Mearablog or Black Rob or Bun B, who are people we respect in the game. We just, we always wanted to do joints for them. So what better time than the present? You know what I mean?
Right. Now, and Duckdown, speaking of Duckdown, when you said it earlier, you and Buckshot have been together since, way before Boot Camp Click, the days of that, and tell me about that brotherhood of Duckdown and the sort of family y'all have forged.
Well, I mean, really, man, a lot of people know, like, we've been around, like, soon as Into the Stage dropped, we was on stage opening up for in Black Moon. You know, like, we learned, we was there from day one, walking through the stages, learning how to talk in interviews, learning how to carry ourselves on stage, like, we taught each other everything. That's where boot camp spawned from. We were going through the shit. So we was like, all right, how can we stay strong in doing this? So we came up with boot camp. Like, we are the boot camp. We're going through training. So we used to, you know, regulate each other, keep each other strong. When one fall down, the other one, you know, the other one is there to pick you up. But we don't babysit cats. We definitely try to build people up. So where we came from is that vein of a family-orientated organization already. So it just got stronger, you know, when Help Scout to come on board, and when OGC come on board, and the reps, and Illinois, and so on and so forth. And, you know, family fight, but we family, so our ultimate goal is to stay strong and stay together.
Right, now let's also go back in time with Just Shining. It's an absolute classic, you know, one of my favorite albums of all time. And tell me about, like, your favorite moments of going back and doing that project, and you know, your fondest memories during that time period.
Memories of Shining, that's what you said?
Yeah.
There's too many fond memories of The Shining to go back and bring up.
Right.
The interview will be over going through all of those.
Yeah.
But it was definitely a work experience, a hands-on work experience, learning on the job in the field training. Because we didn't know what the hell we was doing making that album. We was just kids emptying our hearts and soul over hot-ass beat minor tracks.
Right.
So, I mean, that's one of the main and fondest memories that I have of it myself, is just putting the album together and just, for the first time ever, hearing my voice on radio in a song. That shit just blew my mind.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know, and you know, are we ever going to see another Boot Camp Click album? I know you guys came out with one a little while ago, but you know, is the hip hop world ever going to see another collaboration with Buckshot, Help to Scout and them?
Absolutely, man. Like, we currently taking tracks right now. So anybody got any beats, you know what I mean? You can send them to General Steel Beats. At gmail.com. You can send them to Duckdown. You know, get in contact with us. Don't send us no corny ass beats. This is for the Boot Camp Click. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you better bring your heart if you're gonna come with them. Yeah, I know.
We need straight up and coming monsters. You know what I mean? If you want to be the next Lex Luger or the next Kanye West, send us some tracks, and we're gonna make history together. So yeah, Boot Camp Click is definitely you know, back up and in the running.
Do we possibly have a timetable for that, or is you know, is it just coming out in the future, or you know, what's going on with that?
We're gonna start recording in the fall. So the plan was to basically get the you know, the Sean Price album, Smif and Wessun album, and Buckshot has an album also, another album that he's been working on with Mike Wonder. Yeah. So the plan was to basically get these albums out in the running, and then we can take a small mental hiatus and work on the Boot Camp album and make that, you know, what it needs to be.
Okay, so, that makes sense.
You know, we're gonna start working in the fall as far as recording, but stay tuned though, baby. Stay tuned.
Right. Excellent. Now, you know, being from New York and New York hip hop today kind of seems like it's kind of veered away from a lot of things, and it's not necessarily what it used to be. You know, but it's still great. I mean, it's New York. But you know, what do you think the status is of hip hop today, and specifically New York hip hop?
Somebody pointed something out to me yesterday, and somebody said to me online, they was looking at the Monumental video, and they was like, wow, this is such a New York feel.
Yeah.
And I kind of didn't understand it, but then they went on to explain that they don't like to hear New York rappers rhyme like they from South.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, I never really thought of it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I never really thought like Tech and Steel had a New York style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But when I look at it, I'm like, wow, we not compromising.
Yeah.
Our shit sound like the Brooklyn Bridge, or the Queens Bridge, or the BQE Express. Our shit sound like concrete and tar and project buildings and brownstones and limestones. That's what our music sounds like. When you hear us rhyming, we kind of break down this metaphoric view through music of what Brooklyn or what Bucktown or what hip hop is. And I think that everybody that's from where they from kind of does it because that's what their influence is.
Yeah.
But I think like Tech and Steel is dope because when you live in the city of 5 boroughs, you got to mesh all that together. Yeah. And then you get this wow blend. Of what people say is New York style.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we all know that New York has the most style that is almost infinite style. It's almost an infinite a pool of just diversity. You know what I mean? Right, for sure. So it's you know, I think Smif and Wessun, man, I'm just glad that we've been accepted by regular folks. Yeah. You know, and we're not like, we don't make dope music or like dope theme music or crack music or booty shaking music. Like, we just make music. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, and people can pick what they need from it and they can use it. And I think, like, for us, that's just like, that's a blessing for us. We don't gotta try hard to make a song for the ladies or a smart song for political political points or what have you.
Yeah, I mean, you're staying independent to what you want to do. Right. Right. Well, I'm glad that you guys do that, and that's exactly where I hope hip hop would stay and everything. And unfortunately, that audience is starting to shrink, and guys aren't feeling like the old shit anymore. But I like that you guys are still sticking with it, and you guys' minds are in the right place for sure, and everything. But I'm glad to have you guys on today. That's all I got for you. But go cop Monumental right now. I heard it was one of the best albums this year for sure. Not just saying that because you guys are on here for real with Pete Rock. Go cop that right now, Monumental.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.